Joining me right now, back on the show, is UFC featherweight Mike Grundy. What's going on, Mike?
Good, thanks.
Before we get into your UFC debut, I want to talk about your son, because I saw your son, he competed recently. Talk about that. Talk about coaching him and going through all of that.
Yeah, he just competed in the World IMMAF Championships and he took third in the world. So he did really well.
Yeah, talk about coaching him and the impact that has on you as a father.
Yeah, I mean, obviously sometimes it's quite tough because obviously you got to keep your training separate. I coach him every day, but also when I go home, I've got to make sure I forget about the training and be a father to him, really. But, you know, he listens and he understands and he's doing well.
All right, let's move on to, your UFC debut in London. You got your first TKO finish of your career in the second round. Did the nerves kind of get you in the beginning of the fight a little bit? Because, you were out for 18 months. You had an injury going in. It was your hometown debut. What was going on in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. And like you said, it was my first TKO. And to do it on the big stage was perfect because, a lot of people expected me to come in and just wrestle and keep him down and probably make a little bit of a boring fight in some people's eyes. But, I come out and I TKO'd him and dropped him. And it was an exciting fight on both sides, really, because he caught me with a shot and then I caught him with a shot. So it was a perfect debut, really, to kind of make a statement in the UFC.
How long did it take you after that fight to get over that injury that you had?
Yeah, 2 weeks before the fight, I was training with the team, and I shot a leg attack, and my leg stretched out, and it tore my hamstring pretty bad. The physio said it was like a grade 2 tear, so that's quite bad. And for the last 2 weeks of training camp, I just had to box and hit pads and no wrestling. And when I got to the fight, I was warming up in the back with Terry Essim, and I could feel my hamstring was still pretty tight. It was the first time I'd wrestled a little bit when I was warming up, and it didn't feel right, so I knew I had to go out there and just box a little bit more. I did take him down once, and I felt my hamstring tear a little bit, so I thought, I'm going to have to stand a little bit more here, and it worked out better in the end, if you ask me.
Definitely. When you got back to Wigan, to the wrestling club with all the kids you coached, was it very emotional seeing them, having them, greet you there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I got home on the Sunday and I went straight back coaching on the Monday and to see all the kids, and I got a good welcoming home from the coaches of the team at Wigan Elite Wrestling Club, and I got a good reception from the kids, and they was excited to see me because I suppose it inspires them too to do something good with their lives as well. So yeah, it was good. It was nice to see them because I'd not coached them for like 10 weeks before that because I was concentrating on my fight. So it's kind of the first time I've seen them after the fight. So I was excited to see them myself. I was excited to get back coaching and helping them out and showing what can be done, really. And it was good. It was good times.
That is 9 in a row, 6 finishes. Is there anything you can accredit, to putting this incredible run together?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, always my coach, Colin Aaron, he makes sure I'm training hard and I'm 100% ready for the fight. We took this next fight. It's kind of on short notice, really. I only found out 2 weeks ago that I was going to be fighting in China against an unbeaten Russian. But, I'm always kind of ready all year round. I'm always training. I'm always ready. So, just a couple of tweaks and I'm good to go. So, I've got to give my credit to my coach, Colin Aaron, and the people who support me, really, and help me around. And I've got good sponsors who support me. One sponsor is Qualitech, Danny Casey. He's a big sponsor of mine. I've just got he just helped me out getting a training partner over from America, a Division 1 wrestler, so I can wrestle for the last 3 weeks of my camp and train with him. So I'm getting some very strong rounds in wrestling with the lads in the team. Obviously, they're all very good wrestlers, and then I've got another guy who's going to mix it up for me a bit as well.
Yeah, this is, it's shorter than normal, this camp, right, for China. Have you been helping other guys in the gym out, for their fights?
Yeah, I've been in training all the time because we've got lads fighting on a big show over here in Liverpool called MTK. So that's going to be coming up in 4 weeks. So we've got 4 lads on that. So I've been training and coaching them and also training with them, making them better. And a couple of them's making the professional debuts. So we've got a busy gym and we've got all the lads are on the same wavelength and it's a good atmosphere, ready for fight night really. So like I fight in 3 weeks and they fight in 4 weeks. So the atmosphere is good in the gym and we're all training hard together.
Do you feel that sometimes the younger guys, the guys that are making their debut, give you better rounds in training camp?
Yeah. Now you said that, I've noticed that over the last probably 2 months. There's a couple of lads who's in and they're very enthusiastic and they're wanting to beat me because obviously I'm in the UFC and stuff. So they're giving me hard rounds and they're getting better, because obviously I'm pushing them and they're pushing me. So it makes sense and it's really good atmosphere in the gym.
Yeah, you mentioned you're facing a Russian, undefeated Russian. He's a former champion in M1 Global. Did you check out his debut in St. Petersburg?
Yeah, I've seen that. I actually seen that. I watched that on the TV when it was on live in St. Petersburg against the Korean guy, I think. And yeah, he looked good. I always thought when I seen him fight, I thought, yeah, that's going to be a good fight for me. So I always kind of expected to come up against each other one day. And here it is, and I'm ready to accept it, and I'm ready to take the win, really. But it's a good fight on paper, he's only won one in the UFC, I've won one in the UFC. We're both mainly wrestlers, so it's going to be an exciting fight, especially for the Chinese fans. They understand every martial art, so they're not just going to be booing when we go to the ground, I'm sure. So if we go to the ground, they're going to be still excited to see that kind of fight.
The fight is very interesting because of that reason. You guys are both very good on the ground. You guys are both good grapplers, good wrestlers. Do you feel that this is a chance for you to show UK wrestling, put UK wrestling on the map by beating this guy?
Yeah, I think this is going to be good for myself, and it's going to be very good for UK wrestling, and obviously our gym at Wigan and Lee. It's going to be very good because it's going to prove that we know how to wrestle too, and there's a lot of people discredit our wrestling, and I know it's good. I know mine's good, and I know it's good where I coach. So it's going to be a good night for British wrestling, and it's going to put us on the map, and especially against a good Russian wrestler. So it's going to get a chance to showcase my skills.
You're heading to China, like you said. It's not your first time fighting out in Asia. Did you want to make your return on this card, or was it just something that was offered to you and you just took the opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I was ready to fight. Obviously I fought back in March 16th, so it's been a few months layoff. I got over my injuries, and I was after a couple of months off, after getting over my injuries, I was asking my coach, when can I go again? When can I go again? So I was ready to go, and this opportunity come up, and I don't mind travelling to China. I've travelled to Japan, I've travelled to Brazil, and still won. Yeah, the opportunity come up, and it was it's an opportunity I've got to take. I'm only on my second fight in the UFC, so I've got to be ready to take any fight. And I don't mind travelling to China. Like I said, I've travelled to Brazil, I've travelled to Japan, and I've won fights on. I got for Japan, for example, I got there on the Thursday, I fought on the Sunday, and it was a tough fight. I still won. This one I'm going to get into China a week before, and I'm ready.
After that last fight, what did you focus on mostly? Was there anything that you kind of narrowed down, learned from that last fight, and you kind of focused on that aspect of your game?
Yeah, there's a couple of things I made a mistake in the fight. I'm quite critical to myself, so I always feel there's improvements to be made, which I think that's good. So I mean, some area when I was going for the finish, my chin was a little bit high. My hands were a little bit low, but also I felt I was patient in that finish as well. I didn't rush in too much, pick my shots a little bit. But yeah, there'll be some areas I've got to pick up on, and on the ground too. Especially with the Russian, he's quite solid on the ground. He's not got nothing. I don't feel he's got anything special submission-wise, but if he gets on top, he does tend to keep people down. So it is a good fight on paper, but I think he's going to be surprised when I take him down or I defend his takedowns and me take him down. So he's going to have a tough night. So
the older generation of British fighters, like Brad Pickett, Dan Hardy, Michael Bisping, Ross Pearson, they're kind of all retiring now, and now you and the new breed are emerging. What do you think makes you and everybody else that are coming up different?
Yeah, I mean, the guys who's retiring now are obviously legends. The massive names in the sport, and they put on some great shows. But I feel maybe the lads who's coming through, because I think MMA has changed a lot, maybe a little bit more well-rounded. But those guys who was there, the legends, in the sport. And it's much bigger now than it ever was for them guys. I think, especially in UK, MMA's got much bigger. So I think that's the only change, really, because those guys, I can't discredit them. They're very good fighters.
Let's talk about the featherweight division a little bit. Max Holloway, he just defended his featherweight title against Frankie Edgar. Do you see Alex Volkanovski as the next challenger, or do you see someone like the Korean Zombie or something like that? Do you see somebody else that you would like to see him fight?
I think he's earned his spot maybe now. He's put on some good performances. Maybe he should be the next to go against Max Holloway, which I think is a good fight. I thought he was good against Chad Mendes. They were similar fighters, but he defended his takedowns quite well, and it was an exciting fighter. So I think he probably will get he'll get the next opportunity. But I'm looking forward to maybe seeing what's that, and I'm also looking forward to making my way up and getting up against them guys too, putting on performances against them guys.
You said in another interview that you want to fight one more time after this upcoming fight in China. Any particular, venue or opponent that you have in mind?
Yeah, I definitely want to fight again after this. Maybe get another one in after this before the new year. I haven't got anyone exactly in mind, but I just want to come up against these good wrestlers. People said that, a lot of people did, like I said, discredit the UK wrestling, but I'm here to prove that we have got wrestlers in this country. And I'm there to, I want to get up against these top wrestlers. The next fight's going to be good and it's going to showcase my skills, but I want to keep working my way up the ranks. I want to get to top 15 as quick as I can now, and hopefully next year that's what I can do.
All right, man. Well, August 31st, UFC on ESPN Plus 15, China. Thanks, Mike, for your time, and good luck on your fight and your future, man.
Yeah, thank you very much for the interview.